Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Comics News for November 6th, 2019, of course. We're getting close, though. We're going to be in 2020 soon, a nice round number. And we'll looking forward to that, of course. I'm kind of curious what everyone's going to be doing on New Year's. I know when I was in the States, we didn't do anything interesting at all. Except for kiss a girl and drink champagne, but I guess that's all right. I'll take that. But nevertheless, welcome, guys. Happy to have you here. It's been a little while since we've had a comics news, so nice to have everybody in here. We do appreciate you guys. Keep in mind all of our links down below as usual. Check them out, particularly Fanspeak over on Facebook. And of course, if you want to be on the show, hit up our Twitter and let me know. And we'd love to have you on here. We also have our D&Q if you want to be an artist, things like that. You can get in touch with me. You can get in touch with Booster, Dinale, what have you, and we'll get you where you need to go. But other than that, of course, we are live streamers, so please hit that share button and let your family and friends and extended community know what's going on, because that's how we get more viewers over here. But we're growing, and that's nice. Eric Hawkins says, "I missed you, Chester." Well, I missed you too, Eric. But yeah, I had an interesting trip over in Hiroshima, and my wife, of course, and my daughter came with us as well because it was a long weekend. But I've been there before, but they do have oysters. They do oysters really well, and I had me a lot of oysters on the weekend, so that was good. But I'm happy to be back and happy to be talking about comic book news, movie news, and all that kind of stuff that we cover over here, of course. But before I do any of that, you guys know I need to come over and say hello to my panelist, and of course we have the most wonderfully oiled, fried lightly pie expert from New
Mm.
Zealand, the Booster.
I like this edition of fry. I love fried food. That's why I'm disgustingly fat, Chester.
I see.
Mm.
That's
Hope you
that's
liked Hiroshima. Was it a blast?
well, I
Was your
did.
trip the bomb?
Okay. Thank you. Here, see, this is what I missed. This is what you guys missed. Um, No, well, the funny thing is, I did do two things in the trip because my daughter was with us this time. The last time we went to here, I had to go to Hiroshima. I was just my wife and I, but my daughter did come, so we had to go do those kind of traditional cultural things you do in Hiroshima. So we went to the island of Miyajima, and Miyajima is a very interesting place in Japan. You have a shrine, which is a Shinto based religion thing, but they have shrines all over the place. But each of the shrine is dedicated to a certain god for a certain thing, whether it be for harvest or to have healthy baby or whatever it is, right? And they'll have some little object in there that's supposed to be some holy object, a relic that represents the god. But Miyajima is a very interesting place in multiple ways because the island itself is a sea god. So the island is the relic. Interestingly enough, and they got a ton of shrines, big, huge things. They got pagodas, all kind of stuff. It's a beautiful island. But the interesting thing about it, especially for me being a hunter, is the fact that there are hundreds of deer just walking around, and they come right up to you. You can pet them, they have little things you can buy to feed them food. It's the weirdest thing because for me, I spent so many years learning to bow hunt, and you know how hard that is. You got to stay upwind. You got to get within 30 to 50 meters. It's a lot of work to be able to get close enough to get that arrow into that deer. And they're walking right up to me, Booster. They're right there, Booster.
They're right. You should just give them pats. Don't shoot them, man.
I did give them pats, but I many
Give
time
them
was like,
pats.
"Where's my knife? Where's my knife?" But
Pixel
so
Trader says Booster is fishing for laughs. I would say that joke really bombed.
Oh God. But so that's a very interesting place, and it's one of the big places in Japan. They got this giant gate sitting in the ocean as well. And then of course the other thing I had to do was do that walk that goes along the area where the bomb dropped, and it's got that building that they left up as a memorial, and yada yada yada. But the other thing that was shocking to me about Hiroshima, it's the place in Japan that has the most foreigners. Not Tokyo, not Kyoto, not Fukuoka, Hiroshima. There's a ton of foreigners everywhere. And here's the thing, I think I said this the other day on but I'll say it again. Um, it was shocking to me because all the women I saw, all the Western women, white, black, Latino, whatever. All the Western women I saw, they had super short hair. I mean, super short. Now, I'm not talking about a shoulder length or, kind of the cute little short bob. No, I mean, like shaved on the side of their damn head. All of them, of all ages. And they were really, really angry looking. They just looked
That's a real shame.
pissed,
What a waste. Why do
right?
they do that to themselves? I'd be pissed too if I was bald. Oh.
Yeah, but see, I understand that there is a certain group of people who make a lot of noise. We call them SJWs, progressives, or whatever. I get that, but I didn't know it was so widespread, dude. I mean, every damn woman I saw had a buzz cut and was pissed off. And it was shocking to me. It was so much so that I noticed it. I recognized it. And I'm like, damn, man, you're not having a happy life. This isn't good for you. You know what I mean? Because all the Asians were
Mm-hmm.
fine. Everyone was smiling. It's a beautiful city. I don't know what the hell you pissed off about, right? But it's weird, dude. Weird.
What a waste.
Yeah, I think so. But nevertheless, thank you for asking. It was fun. Had some good food,
Mm-hmm.
right? But of course, also joining us, we have the man from IndieCom TV himself, the artist extraordinaire, Todd. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
So you had it sounds like you had a great trip and
I
got to
did.
see quite a few things. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's good.
Well, the only problem with traveling is it's so tiring when you come home. Because walking everywhere, and this time my wife, I usually take my car, but my wife wanted me to experience the Shinkansen at least once because I've never ridden one before. It was interesting. It's like being on a plane, but I found myself in a city and I have no car, so I had to use the friggin' buses, the trolleys, taxis. Oh God, it's exhausting.
No rickshaw?
I could have. They had several of them, but that's
Oh.
for old people. So, no.
Yeah. So you fit perfectly.
No, I mean old people, people who are
Oh, okay.
infirm. That's what they're basically for. I guess there some couples take it too, but no,
So yeah.
yeah, shut up, bastards. All right, but let me see. The chat's going on because I took so long talking about that. But let's see here. Chronos Chiron says, "Nice, Jester. You sound fresh and well rested." Well, thank you, dude. Fried kiwi is great. I believe it probably is. Pixel Trader says, "Booster is fission for last." Oh, I get it. Fission, not fission. I get it. I get it. Ha ha. Hi. Wonder how long it goes before they realize they have a chat section. Dude, I'm paying attention all the time. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you bullies.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Uh, they're talking to each other. Let's see here. Fellow bow man. Okay. Were there foreigners or radioactive mutants? I would have loved to see radioactive mutants. That'd be awesome, dude. So that's where the man haters went. I don't know. It was surreal, guys. I'm not exaggerating the situation. I mean, we always exaggerate things to make them funny or interesting, but I'm not. They literally all were buzz cut, angry women, and I saw hundreds of them. And I don't understand it. I don't get that leading your life that way. Let's see. Simone went to Japan, didn't she? I don't know. Did she? I think.
I think he's making a joke because you found angry lesbians there. Gail Simone must be among them. I hope she went to Japan to find her talent.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I would like some more good Secret Six, please, Gail Simone.
Dave says maybe they all came on the same bus, Lesbian Tours International. Well, a lot of them were with men actually, and one man in particular, I tried. Oh, I tried so hard not to laugh as I passed by him. I think a chuckle came out nevertheless, but I didn't want to be rude. But because this buzz cut, I mean fully buzz cut, blue-haired girl had the most angry, pissed off look on her face as she's moving wherever the hell they were going, and the guy literally was slump-shouldered behind her, looking completely defeated, arms dangling, following behind her. I'm
Mm, mm.
God, dude,
That
that
that's when you
sucks.
need to beat them. Yeah. And
It was so sad, dude. Oh, it didn't. Oh well. Anyway,
yeah,
picks or the ride ridden didn't happen. Well, there were with men. Maybe that was why they were so angry. Maybe I don't know. But most of them were couples. It was just I didn't know that the hair fashion had shifted to such a short style in the West. I was surprised because I didn't see any long hair at all, even shoulder length. It was kind of uniform in a strange way. But anyway, glad to have you here, Todd. Let's move on. George, how you doing, George?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be here today to be the
Awesome.
topic of one of the news points.
Yeah, well, actually, you do have news. Would you like to give that now or later?
I don't know. I would like later, mix it in with something. I'll be happy to do, a follow up after Brie Larson news or Star Wars news.
I
I
haven't
can, I can, I
haven't
can, I
heard
can do that.
haven't heard
You know,
anything about Brie in quite a
are
while,
we are we that predictable?
and we're not talking about Star Wars at all. So take that, George. But
well,
Yeah, we're
how,
mixing it up. We're doing Avengers this time.
all right. I'll follow after Booster news. How's that?
Okay,
Sounds
that's
good.
fine. And of course, we're also joined by the most Denali of all llamas. Hello, sir.
Hello here, I'm Dinale it up, and I'm doing great. It's hot, it's humid, and it's Florida, of course.
Well,
Oh,
one of these days we're going to teach you about timing. One of these days, I'm working on it,
how
guys.
was timing? I
Give
thought
me,
his
give
timing
me.
was okay there.
No,
What do you
no,
do?
it was definitely
I,
off.
No?
It was
I
definitely
have
off.
I have perfect timing. It's just off by a second.
There you go.
I think you have very good
Sometimes it's
At
like
least, at
half a
least,
second, which is
timing.
the most awkward of anything. But nevertheless, seems like there would have been a good time for a mobile fan speak. Chester live from Hiroshima. Well, you know what I could have actually done is just done a solo live. I could have done, but because I was with my wife and daughter, I just completely did the family thing.
Something about that sounds really techy. Here we are, live from Hiroshima. Just
Look, here is what
doesn't sound good.
20,000 children died. Nice. I could.
Yahoo!
Yay! I could have done that, but
Oh.
it was with family. So when you're with family, you do family. But nevertheless, let's jump over here and start our news off. And I do appreciate you guys interested in my little trip. But let's get on to the work at hand, sir. All right, let's do that. Yes. All right, here we go.
Let's see. Give us a look.
I'm getting to
Give
it.
us a look. See.
All right. The first thing I want to talk about today is actually from Samuli, our friend from Finland, of course. And
Oh.
he put this up as a Kickstarter project going on. And we see a lot of stuff on Fanspeak, on Facebook, of course, where people are promoting things, and it's awesome. That's exactly what we want people to do. But Samuli put this one up, and it looked kind of interesting. We're not talking to the creators here, although I'd love to have them on if they're interested. But I just thought we'd kind of run through it real quick and just give it a mention. Also, keep in mind that the Chronos, or what is that called? Chromosome, oh, chromosome
Chromosome
something.
6.
Chromosome 69, is that what it's called? They're back on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and I am talking to them. Maybe we'll get them on the show, but
Cool.
they have launched a new one if you guys want to check that out. So definitely do that. But this is it says The Last Sheriff part 5 or 6, and from what I understand, you can get all 6 parts in this Kickstarter. Explosive sci-fi western tale following a posse of outlaws looking to overthrow the tyrannical government. All right, very nice. I'm not going to go into it in depth. I'd love to have them on and stuff, but we're just talking about some of the people here that were involved with it. The art is amazing, by the way. Very, very pretty stuff. Have you guys seen this
It's
campaign
quite
yet?
cool. I haven't seen it all. It's nice art. How much is it actually making? Because when I first saw the price, you went, "Whoa, they're doing well." Then I was, "Oh, that's yen."
They've made almost $5,000.
All right, it's doing well. It's trucking along.
Yep, they got 4
And it's
days
funded
left,
and everything.
and it's
Nice.
funded. Yeah, so
Cool.
but it is beautiful art here, and like I said, I'm not going to go into it in depth. I just Somali put it up, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Let's take a look at that real quick. The art is
Yeah.
gorgeous. You guys and Todd's here, so maybe he's quite an authority on artists and stuff. Chris Jenkins, do you know him?
He's a colorist.
Okay.
The artist David Tinto.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. We took a look at this. We have obviously, that we have a show on Mondays. It's called
Yeah.
Indiegogo Kickstarters. What we look at, and we took a look at this, and there's some thing. I mean, I like the artwork, but man, you gotta. I hate to have to scroll to it. The first thing that you should see is what's inside the book.
Yeah.
Not a sort of version of what the book will look like. Those, how you superimpose pages onto a phony book that's not really there. I don't. That's not necessary. You don't have to put it on an iPad or put it on a phone to show us what it's going to look like. Show me what's inside the book first, and then get to your merch, and then who your creators are and stuff like that. That's my opinion, but we took a look at it, and I like the artwork.
Well, it seems like they listened to you, dude, because what you just said, this page is the opposite. So if it was that on the last Monday when you guys talked about it, then they listened and they changed it.
Yeah.
So that's good, man. That's good because they did everything you said. They well, no, you're wrong. No, I'm wrong.
Right. Like this.
They don't
print
show the
there-
story at all.
No, except for in that superimposed book, and there's one page right there. But
Oh, I see your point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I was
don't-
completely wrong. Yeah, no, yeah, that's not good, guys. This page could be set up a
to
lot
me,
better.
if you're not showing the work that's going inside, it's because you're hiding the work that's going inside.
I doubt
That's
it's
what I
that
feel like.
malicious, but I understand how it feels that way. Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying, as a sort of general rule, if you're going to create a campaign, show the work that's inside. Or the elevator pitch is important, right? So that should be underneath your video or whatever your thumbnail is. I get that. Then the next thing I want to see after the elevator pitch is the work inside, and then the creators, and then any of your merch or any of your nonsense that you want to put below that. But I really want to know, going forward, people that do this, show me what I'm buying.
Well,
Or else I'm not gonna buy, right?
You know what they might have done, because obviously now that I'm paying, because I wasn't really going to go into this page depth, I was just going to mention it. But now that I'm looking at it, you know what might have happened here, Todd? These guys might have no clue how to set up a crowdfunding page. And I'm betting that when I click on this button, all the information is in here, and that's a mistake.
Yeah. Because no one's looking at the video. Realistically.
Yep. Here it is. That's what they did. They put everything in the
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
It's a yeah, I get it. They're just inexperienced. It's gorgeous though, dude.
It's a good video. It's just
It is.
I understand not everyone's going to look at this. They're going to go
Yeah.
through your page looking for the art.
Yeah. No. We found the problem, Todd.
No, we're on the case, boys.
Yep.
And this is also a good example of how to do a video. So, 'cause I watched one the other
That's
day.
grim.
Had the creator, was the first thing you saw, and he's just standing against a sterile background. And the first thing I thought is, well, one, you should have hired somebody to do this for you.
Sure.
You want to get a good-looking guy or a good-looking woman, and let them be the voice of your campaign.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of time they don't have money. A lot of people are doing things literally shoestring. Yeah.
But the artwork looks great.
It does.
This guy has a really cool
It's a
style.
great video too, dude. That is a good video. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is it. We found the problem, Todd. They don't understand how to do crowdfunder, and they put everything in their trailer, and everything below is just the extra details, right? That's what they did, and that's okay. Like I said, if they only have 4 days left, but if we could have got them in here sooner, we would have had them fix that. Because we
Would have
understand
wagged
the
our
problem.
fingers at them, and we would have raised them
Well,
$10 more dollars.
Well, maybe. But yeah, I get the point completely. I see what's going on. It is a gorgeous looking project though. It looks killer. You're right, Dave. But anyway, go check it out, guys. It's on Kickstarter. The Last Sheriff Part 6, and like I said, you can get all 6 comics if you'd like, actually. So yeah, it looks really nice. But moving on to our first news of the day, and this is pretty interesting news for me. Stop it! I never allow.
Uh,
I don't want
uh,
anything to do with you.
We
Oh,
see that you're using an ad blocker. What are you doing with that ad blocker?
oh
Get rid of it.
no! Help us! Oh, that means I can't cover it. Oh well. Oh
Oh.
well. You know the funny thing about this is I came back when I set this up 30 minutes or 40 minutes ago now, and I checked everything, of course, as I did, and it was all fine. Now it's not fine. Right, so
Now
I
it's
stayed on the
bad.
page
I
too
see.
long, and I can't look at it. But basically, what this saying is Matthew McConaughey, the
Oh.
McConaughessence that he is going to be playing Harvey Dent.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Wow, going for a bunch of A-listers, huh?
They are, dude. They're really packing it out. Unfortunately, they're not packing it out in some of the more key roles, right? I mean, because Harvey Dent, we don't know, but he'll probably be a side character of something that's going on. But Pattinson, I have faith that he's going to do a good job. But look at these other, unknown people that they're throwing directly around him who are going to be major parts of the movie.
Hmm.
So it's weird, but you're right. They are
Yeah, this
packing
is
this.
all.
Well, I
This
can
is all
picture.
very strange. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Go
can
ahead, Denali.
picture Matthew McConaughey as Harvey Dent because they're probably going to use. They probably chose him because of the Lincoln Lawyer. If anybody watched that movie, and he was pretty good on that one.
I
So
was thinking probably Dallas Buyers Club.
I
He's
mean,
very good in that movie.
no,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
he was good at that one, but he was more as a
he's played a
lawyer. If you look,
lawyer. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
But no,
Won an
Matthew
Oscar.
McConaughey is usually good. He's a pretty solid actor, actually. He's a weirdo, but he's actually one of those weirdos I think would be fun to hang out with, though. He's that kind of weirdo, you know.
No, like Jared Leto, you're worried he's gonna just stare at you while breathing the whole
Jared
time.
Leto is a creepoid, and he really needs to relax. I mean, freaking relax, dude. Jesus, man. But I have to tell you, this whole hype that's going on with the Joker. And we know Joaquin Phoenix doesn't do sequels. He doesn't like it. He's an artiste. Remember that. He's not so different than Jared Leto in some ways. But he's on board for so much on board for a sequel that he's actually putting up memes on the internet to promote a sequel. Now that's weird. You know what I think it
That
was,
is very
dude?
weird.
I think it was they pissed
broke
him
him.
off by asking questions in those interviews about, don't you
He
think
looked
this is
really
harmful?
pissed.
Oh yeah, he's like,
He looked so pissed off.
yeah.
What I'm very surprised by is that they haven't delayed this Batman movie in accordance and kind of looked at, okay, what made Joker successful? We should probably put this into a Batman movie somehow, you know? What if we did an R16 Batman movie, right? What if we connected it to this universe? Yeah?
you don't think they're doing that? Look at I hate to say it, but look at Suicide Squad. They saw what was happening with the other movies, and they made those changes. Warner Brother always edits the movie regardless of what project it is. So if the director edits it, they send their own editor to re-edit the movie again. And
well, what would you think, though, of a bloody Batman with F-bombs and everything? R16 Batman.
It wouldn't work because it's not in tune with the vision of the creator.
Bruce Wayne hanging dong.
Well, see, the thing is, McConaughey is more likely to hang the dong than frickin' Pattinson, to be honest with you.
Will he have like a little two-faced dong?
Yeah,
and where it's like
the left side is burned.
Michael Match.
It hurts me on occasion. But I have me some ointment. But
all right.
Eric says
half of his body.
Yeah, right. Hey, Pixel. Eric says Chester said 69. God, you're such a child. And Pixel corrected me by saying chromosome 96, and he even put the link up. Pixel's awesome.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, I backed it, man. I was one of the first backers on that campaign when it hit last year, and I was really disappointed when it didn't make it. He's come back and he's made it more affordable, and it's got 3 issues instead of just 1.
Oh, nice.
So he upped his game. Yeah, and it's still the same craziness. Some people are going to like the art, some people aren't. But I love it. I think it looks great, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, dude, it is one of the first projects we talked about. It does look great, and I loved it so much. It's actually in the FanSpeak trailer, the intro trailer for our show. It is a great looking project. And so guys, go check it out, and let's see if we can't get him funded, because he's put over a year into this, more than that, probably more like 2 or 3. But let's see here. That main image for The Last Sheriff looks like a cross between Joe Mad and Chris Baccialo, whatever. Okay, I would have to lean in for Todd for that. But let's see here. If you guys he's like, okay. Todd is right.
I don't know about Chris. I see the Joe Mad influence. I guess, yeah, Chris's work does get a little cartoony to some degree. It depends on how far towards the tagging kind of style that he approaches it with. But I can kind of see it. But I definitely see a Joe Mad influence for sure, or at least a gaming kind of art style. Yeah.
I'm just going through the chat real quick, and people are still talking about that thing. But we found the problem where they didn't know how to set up a page. The reality is, AAA person needs some cash and does whatever. See Luke Skywalker. I didn't. My brain's not working on that one. Very cool, Harvey. It could be a very cool Harvey, dude. McConaughey brings it, dude. My favorite McConaughey performance is got to be Reign of Fire. I loved him in that. He was such a prick, dude. It was beautiful.
That was a good movie.
I loved how Matthew McConaughey kind of was like campy actor who was doing these crappy rom-com movies, and somewhere along the line, I think it was the movie Mud, where he started actually taking real serious roles and came and actually fleshed out as an actor. I'm very happy to see it.
Yeah. Well, and I agree 100%. Devilish Boredom says Phoenix is slowly becoming the real Joker over this. Yeah, dude. He is, and it's because he does a great job. I mean, we've talked about the movie here. Many of you have seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but from what I understand, the movie's a good movie. It's not a super awesome movie. It's a good movie, but Joaquin just absolutely slams it. So awesome, good for him, dude. Let's see here. Someone's going to the gym. Bob is going to exercise his brain at the gym, I guess. Joe Hamm would make a better Two-Face. Interesting.
John Hamm, yeah.
But I think McConaughey could pull it off, dude. That's what I love about these Gotham high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
All right.
Cult Video says that southern accent doesn't work with Gotham. It works if I say it works, damn it.
And he could be like, now I may be just a Texan, simple lawyer. And, he could do that whole bit.
Wouldn't it be awesome if he came in with a southern accent for a New York lawyer? That would be freaking priceless, dude. I'd get that. Reign of Fire, yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. That's a great movie. But anyway, let me go back over here to the news. But interesting news, which we couldn't even look at. Awesome. And look at Miley Cyrus and her stupid face. Aw.
I don't want to look at his stupid face.
Ooh, I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm going to let Booster take this one because he's British.
Oh yeah, all right. all right. Best of 2000 AD miniseries launching in 2020. Yeah. How's that?
That was all right, but you have to continue because you've told them nothing.
Okay. All right. 12-issue series will act as an introduction for newcomers to the long-running British anthology title and its characters, including Judge Dredd.
Oh, okay.
Still going?
Yeah, please, yeah.
All right, 2000 AD, long-running British comic, anthology that helped launch the careers of Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, and Al Ewing, has announced a new monthly series, Best of 2000 AD, which is intended to help new readers jump on board the title. 12-issue anthology will launch with a 100-page issue featuring a 48-page Judge Dredd story, along with 3 additional stories from the history of the title behind an all-new cover by Jamie McConaughey, The Wicker and the Divine. Future covers will come from...
How did you get that wrong? Go ahead.
McConaughey come from Charlie Adlard, The Walking Dead, Erica Henderson, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, and Becky Cloonan. Gotham Academy, Doom Patrol, among other artists, and the entire series will be designed by Tom Mueller.
Okay. Now, Thank you very much, Booster. Great job there. The British sounded very British. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I've read quite a bit of 2000 AD, but I know there's a lot of Americans that haven't. So I think it's brilliant because there's some really cool characters over there. So I think it's a wonderful idea, and I would suggest because we talked about this many months ago, Denali, where Shonen Jump put their entire freaking many decade archive on the internet for like some small price or something like that.
$2,
$1.
I think.
Yeah, it was dirt
Yeah.
cheap, right?
Yeah.
But I think Shonen should do the same thing. They should create some best of to kind of introduce people into it because I think there's a lot of people right now who are very interested in manga, and why not give them a really easy step like, oh, I like this, this, and this, right? And then they can go search that archive. I think it's great. Anybody have any comments?
I'm just wondering where Mega City 1 is.
It's behind them in the picture. Which
No,
has,
I'm talking about the show that was supposed to be made.
I
And
haven't heard anything on it being canceled. I think it's still coming.
I think it's in development hell by the sounds of it.
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it though. And Carl Urban was very willing to be part of it, and we still haven't heard any final on that
Yeah.
yet.
I doubt he's in it anymore. He's probably on other things now.
Maybe, but I mean, that's
By
one thing.
now,
That's one
surely.
thing you got to love about Carl Urban, though, dude. He is in it for making the art, for making the stuff.
Yeah.
He's not all about money, money, money. Like say Arnold Schwarzenegger. That guy's such a penny pincher. It's ridiculous, right? But and his Dread, which if you hadn't seen that, I know it didn't do well, but go watch that. It's one of the best movies of
awesome.
that year, dude. That freaking kicked ass.
Easily.
Yeah, and he didn't show his face once in that. You go, dude.
I believe he insisted
Yeah, he
to
did.
keep the helmet
He
on.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is very interesting doing this TV show because he loves the Dread character. Of course, he's doing Billy Butcher now, which raise your hands.
Killing it.
Raise your hands. Right? Frickin' Billy Butcher in the house. But I love Carl Urban, dude. He's just making me happy left and right. And it's not that kind of happy either. You ultra hetero. You keep your dirty mind to yourself. I heard that.
What?
I heard it. Anybody else on the panel want to talk about this? I think it's a great idea. Anybody?
Well, 2000 AD is at what, 2,000 issues, 2,000
Something
plus
ridiculous
issues.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. A lot of American people don't read it. You can't get that far without having some great stories that have been in there and stuff like that. So I think it's a great idea because it might drive you towards more of the the product they put out, because that's not the only they have Judge Dredd magazine, which also is an anthology. So they're putting out a bunch of stuff over there that we just don't have an interest in, but maybe we can create that interest.
I hope they are successful with this actually, because some of the stuff with the British and Europeans in general, they really turn their nose up at America on quite a few things. They like to look down their nose at us. They always have. But one thing that they haven't done that with is comic books, at least in Britain, because at the same time that 2000 AD was very popular when I was young. Right, they were also reading Spider-Man and Wolverine and X-Men. They were involved with all of that just as much as we were. So comic books has been a very communal language between us and Britain, actually, where that isn't really true of many other things. So I really hope that this becomes very popular and people get a feel for 2000 AD because it's really cool. And the good thing about 2000 AD, it's an adult book. It's not for kids at all, right? Never was. So I think this is wonderful. Let's see here. Is it for regular or DC Black? What?
So what they're talking about in there at the moment is Roger Heller brought up earlier that apparently DC is
I'm getting to
upping
it.
the price of their books.
I'm getting to it. Yeah, I have it on the roster for today. We're going to talk
All right.
about it.
All right.
I can do that right now if you'd like. Let me see here. Is
We
it this
could.
one? Yeah.
If I wanted to press himself.
Oh, we'll do it right now. Yeah. Go ahead, Dinale.
All right. So this is from Cosmic Book News.
Well.
They're going, yeah. So they're reporting or they're speculating that DC is in dire straits, so they're increasing the prices all throughout the line and being priced at $7.99.
Oh,
Are
hell
you
no.
effing me? Oops. It's crazy.
If it's Cosmic Book News, I'm sorry, but they're not a particularly esteemed news organization.
Right.
I think
So
that it's rumor spreading, to be honest.
Yeah, this is rumor right now, but it's a good talking point because we do see that this might come down the line. Not to $7.99, but they have been steadily increasing as the number of readership has been decreasing as well.
Jesus.
Well, basically, it talked because Butterboy Caesar was talking about it earlier today. Maybe he has some inside track or something on that. But Ethan was definitely talking about it. I've seen a few other people as well that have nothing to do with the indie community at all. There are other comic book people that are talking about it too. So I don't think it's as rumory as people are making it out to be. Actually, I think there's something behind it.
Okay, why not do this, right? If you're gonna do this, there's how many Superman books? Maybe there's Action, there's Man of Steel, whatever. Throw them all in one book.
Mhm.
Every month you get the whatever number of stories, because a lot of these books, went to 2 a month.
They did.
All the
Yeah.
all the A-list characters went to 2 a month, and Justice League and something else. But so why not go to this price, but give me 4 books in one, or something like that?
Something, yeah.
I mean, don't give me
Well-
22 pages for $7.99.
Well, is that what they're suggesting, though? And you're right, Eric.
Yeah.
He did. You're right. Yeah.
That's what they're suggesting. This is
wow.
rumor, and this is for the 5G universe where they have the all new character as well, and the black labels and the current line. So through all the lines,
The Black Label is not 22 pages though. None of their books.
It's not 22 pages, but the price range.
Right.
Well,
It's been worth it. They've actually been worth it. So.
Yeah, but here's the problem, really, if this is true. The real problem with this is this: you're going to sell less books, not more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because now, when you're talking about an actual comic book collector, right? And many of us are, right? A comic book collector has a set amount of money that they can spend a month, right? And that's all they got. That's what they have to spend, their budget. And by increasing your price, all you're doing is reducing the amount of things they can get from that budget. This does nothing to improve readership or improve flow. If you want to improve flow, what you do is reduce your price, right? So once again, this is rumor, I guess. But like I said, I've seen many people talking about it. But if they are doing this, it's kind of stupid.
And here's the other thing, because a lot of people have been complaining about the price range of indie comics like Kickstarters or Indiegogo, where say, why am I paying $10 or $20 for a book? Well, now this happens to be true, now it's just a step closer to the prices that the indie comics are already producing.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah,
so that's something else to consider.
It is. Actually, I would like to throw this over to Pixel because we know that we're us going on the Indiegogo Kickstarter and supporting these people. What we're trying to do is support the creation of new hits, new books, and in doing so, we are being a patron or a benefactor. Is what we're doing. We're not purchasers. We're not shopping. Right? We're supporting people in hopes that we'll get to some kind of better distribution that will allow them to sell books competitively. That's the intention that's going on here. As far as I understand it, Pixel is much more involved in understanding of that than any of us. So, Pixel, why don't you conversate on that, please?
Given the current climate and like some of the disgruntled people and such that have been commenting on the crowdfunding stuff lately, I have to believe that a lot of these buyers may have felt that it wasn't that they were actually buying a product and all they wanted was the product. They weren't really buying into the hype about building a new industry or anything like that. They were supporting that artist, but they expected to get their product in a specific manner and everything. So I'm not sure. But yeah, for me in particular, when I go and I fund a book, and from many of the people that I've dealt with that at least have a fairly decent understanding of the crowdfunding situation, we know we're paying a little bit more because of the infrastructure costs, like you can't, because just the scale. You're printing the smaller run of books and stuff, and so your prices are going to be higher, so you have to do that, and it's a one-off and type thing. But this kind of pricing just blows my mind. It's like they were looking at us and going, well, those guys are charging $20 for a book. What's $8?
Yeah.
And that just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know, man. That seems weird. The other thing I thought was kind of weird was 5G when they mentioned that. I'm assuming that's to tie into AT&T's purchase of the stuff or something. But
yeah,
they're talking about the
subtle
soft reboot.
Subtle.
Gotcha.
Subtle.
How would you like? How would you like to pay $7.99 for a digital copy of something you don't have in your hand? Can you imagine that? That's
fucking
absurd.
Way. Sorry.
Digital should have never even reflected the same price to me, because you're reading. Basically, if you're a digital, you just want to read the comics. You don't want to collect them anymore. You don't want to box them. You don't want to move them when you move.
Or if you're from New Zealand, you're not near a comic book store and you can't afford to ship them.
Yep.
To be fair, most of what I read is
no
digital now.
Middle Earth doesn't have a comic book store. I'm sorry.
What a prick, dude! We're talking about you. What are you trying to be, McConaughey or something, man? What the hell?
It's well played. I'll get you later, Todd.
It's run by Sauron, and nobody wants to deal with that guy.
Oh, right. But there's actually
so angry all the time.
Exactly.
If we play off the 5G thing, I don't know if you've heard, 5G is terrible for range. Like, they're going to have to do all kinds of crap to make the 5G networks work. So, like, if you're around the corner from a tower, it just 100 yards away, if you walk behind a building or something, your connection drops like very, very quickly. Like, the speeds and stuff are just garbage as soon as you get away, because of the way that the signal works. It's just kind of funny that they're referring to DC's newest upcoming stuff as 5G, when if they are trying to make a parallel to the 5G cellular network stuff, it means it's garbage with very limited range.
Japan solved that 5G problem, by the way.
No, Japan's Japan.
Yeah, it's true, but they solved it very simply. 5G is for in the home. They use everything else 4G.
Yeah, it makes sense, and that's probably what's going to have to happen to a lot of stuff. And I think 5G will be good for home networks and stuff, for even for ISPs. I think it'll be good, but trying to get it out in the wild, I think, is going to be very difficult too. They can't even cover an entire basketball stadium. Like, one side will get it, the other side won't. It's bad.
And that Japan understood that, because they've had 5G for, I don't know, a decade, or more. But they understood that right from the beginning. So all they did was they used 5G into your house or into businesses, stuff like that, and they built LTE or 4G towers everywhere. So you get LTE is just fine. It works really well. It's fast. But then again, in the house with the 5Gs, which I don't have, which I'm hoping will come over the mountain here in a year or so. But you're looking at people getting over a gig or more a second downloads, dude. It's ridiculous. It's really fast here. But anyway, obviously, wink, wink, AT&T. We're gonna see a lot more of that. A lot more of that crap. That's why we have football stadiums in America now that are named after companies instead of something cool like Soldier Stadium. No. It's got to be AT&T Turner Network Stadium or whatever. Bastards. But there are two comments here, though, opposing comments in the chat I want to read. Cult Film Video says, higher quality and less titles suits me just fine. Nobody needs a dozen Bendis books anyway. Fair point. But Kronos Chiron comes back and says,
I don't want one Bendis book.
Right? You're paying for freedom from corporate control, and thus can get stories and stuff that you like. And these talk about the indie revival. They're both true, actually. Interesting. Middle Earth somehow, however, has an RPG section at drive-through, and it's vast. I guess we'll have to ask a booster. Does Middle Earth have RPG stores?
What you mean, like for D&D, like nerd shit? Yeah, we have one of those.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Eric continues here, and he said, "Well, Cult Film says digital should always be $1 unless it's indie." I understand the argument of being equal price,
I
though, but
agree.
I get it.
Digital should be cheaper.
It should be
Whoa.
cheaper for the booster. Who
Who's
has
that?
wow?
The
That's
phone.
an old-fashioned phone.
Phone,
Who just came
yes.
I'm
in from the
guessing that's
80s,
George.
dude? George,
Gotta be George.
he's
What?
time
What?
traveling. That sounds like
What?
an 80s phone, dude. That's a freaking
Yes.
on-the-wall dial-up.
Well, yeah, well, I am partial to the old rotary phone.
Dude, that
Oh,
was a rotary
Lordy.
phone.
Well, yeah.
Damn, George. Canada, third world country. Eric says
Mhm.
comics were 50 cents when I started collecting, right? They were. $7.99 is ridiculous, even though it does say they will be oversized books. It has gone up radically.
All right.
But just like everything else, right? If you think about the fact that, and now this is an economic point I'm about to make, so I apologize. But we have seen inflation cause everything to skyrocket in cost, but we have not seen people's pay meet that increase. And it's way behind. So this is why people are being, bought out of everything or left behind. This is why California is a freaking shithole that it is. I do apologize. It's because the high taxes, high cost, low pay, and
If I may.
it's a problem, dude.
What I'm wondering about is this idea that we're going to have was it oversized comics? Have they confirmed that it's going to be double the price, double the comic at least? Which I think is better, but if that's going to be monthly, wouldn't that be a massive strain on the artist? Because we're already straining them by trying to get them to pump out
you'll know.
2 books a bloody month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't be one single artist doing for you. That'll never.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Expecting
that's
that a
true.
month. I mean, we're essentially already doing that to them, but which is why we get some crappy artists like what we've got with the guy doing the Tom King Batman stuff. His art is when he's rushed, it's not good, and you can tell he's using 3D models and everything to get all the characters into poses, and it makes them look stiff and awful.
Awkward. Yeah, it's very awkward. Yeah, you're right.
Are you talking about Mikhail Janin?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you don't like him?
I think his art's great. It's just the stuff he's been putting out for Batman hasn't been good because he's rushed.
Yeah. And Pixel, you're 100% right. Canada is America's hat. This is off topic, but I did want to mention you guys hear how ticked off Alberta is, Canada, that is, because they have no say in the matter because they don't have an electoral college up there. And of course, Toronto and Ottawa control everything. As far as the politics go, although Alberta is the money in Canada because they're the oil, and they
Is that why
are.
they vote for blackface?
I suppose, but Alberta is basically making rumbles that they're going to leave Canada, and there's been
What?
suggestions that they might well join America and become the 51st state.
Are you seriously?
I'm not joking.
Suggesting that for a very long time. They belong with us, not with Canada. Canada's a socialist hellhole. Alberta's basically Texas. They belong with America.
It is. You're right, dude. Hey, Thundero.
Hello.
Yeah, no, and that is shocking news, dude, if that comes to fruition. I hope it does, because if it does, what you'll see is British Columbia, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, they'll join suit, dude, and leave those damn French and the stupid idiots in Toronto. Damn it, George, and your damn rotary phone.
I will end someone.
It's like, all day I don't get a phone call. All of a sudden,
All of a sudden, everyone wants your bloody attention.
Yeah, Chrono says there's very few that are actually saying that in Alberta, and it's just a troll. It might be, but it's making the news, and I think it's a happy
it's not
news.
just a troll. It's something like 35% from the latest polls would support them seceding from Canada.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But anyway, let me move on here because we could talk all day on this right here for sure. Can't do that. Oh, we already talked about that. Oh. What is this? What is this, Dinale?
What is this?
Colin Farrell is in talks to play the Penguin.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
An Irish penguin?
Yes. So you got Matthew McConaughey acting against Colin Farrell. Just
Danny DeVito again already.
I know, right? Danny DeVito was awesome as the Penguin, but I can't remember. One of you guys help me out. I read a Batman comic that had Penguin in it, and it was the old, kind of fat, penguin-shaped penguin, and the short guy with the top hat and the cane and stuff. But they had him as this amazing, badass fighter. And it was a beautifully drawn in the comic. It was so awesome. Whose run was that? Who turned Penguin into an actual fighter? I mean, I'm talking about a physical melee fighter, right? Not just his.
I don't know the writer. Oh God, I might know the artist. I think it was Eddie Barrows.
That was gorgeous, dude. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled that off so well with the movement he did in the with the Penguin in that. I remember at the end he was fighting Batman like in some room that had a big tree in it or something like that. But that was a great book. I love that one. But that's not what we're getting. We're getting the skinny mafioso Penguin as we're getting, which is fine, I guess. The Gotham has had some influence, I guess. But what do you guys think about the Penguin in Gotham?
Yeah, he was actually better, the best actor out of all of them.
I thought he was
which
good.
is saying much because it's Gotham.
Yeah, he kind of carried that series, and that tells you a lot.
You know what? You want to know what's weird about that series? It's the same guy behind Pennyworth. Gotham and Pennyworth are by Bruno Heller. And Pennyworth is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, the one I'm talking about, the one I was talking about?
No. It's a Starz television series. It's the same creator that created Gotham. The same showrunner, Bruno Heller, and he's doing Pennyworth. You gotta watch it.
Well, Bruno Heller has done a ton of stuff, dude. That's a mainstream TV writer. Yeah.
I did not like Gotham. I thought there was a lot of things in it that were just like, if you're gonna go campy, you should have went campy all the way.
Yeah.
There was some really,
Well, I felt that show didn't really have an identity, right? It didn't know if it wanted to be a mafia show, a superhero show, a vigilante show. It couldn't really make up its mind. It didn't know if it wanted to be campy, serious. It was all over the place in tone. I felt.
True.
Right.
I agree. Yeah, but let me pose a question to the chat and the panel here. If you had to choose between Gotham, Supergirl, Batwoman, Something Stupid Legends of Tomorrow, or Flash, which one would you watch?
I would watch Flash.
Flash.
Even now? Even now?
I don't know how it is now.
Flash.
I stopped watching that about halfway through season 2 because I got bored.
Because
I thought the first season was quite strong.
That's why you say you would watch Flash, because it was right about then that it went hard left.
Yes, it did. Dude. Hardcore left.
All the way to the point that they have literal feminist episodes.
The secret to watching Flash is watch the first 5 minutes and then watch the last 5 minutes. You'll get the whole show. Everything else,
you'll watch it in a flash.
I would take Gotham any day over those guys.
Any of the other shows, you have to watch the whole thing because it's just one cesspool of soup drama. The Flash, hey, there's a problem. Okay, we solved it. Forget the soup.
No,
see you next week.
I'm laughing at Kronos Chiron. He says, "I'd rather have an enema."
Yeah, I'd rather just shoot my television.
Yeah, right. And that's a great reference, Eric. I think George lives on Walton's Mountain. I love the Waltons, man. That was a great show. But anyway, back to our news. Colin Farrell, good actor. I'm sure he'd do a good job. And this star-studded cast, man.
Oh, Andy Serkis is going to play the Alfred.
I'm here. I'm on it, dude.
Yep.
I'm on it. Right?
Yeah. So there you go. Andy Serkis in talk to play Alfred Pennyworth in the Batman.
I hope he's ready to get rid of that hair.
Yeah, no, it's all right, Todd. But dude, this is hilarious because Booster and I were talking earlier because you tell him who you think would be a good Pennyworth.
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes.
That was my suggestion for him.
I agree. He'd be awesome. But instead of having the tall, slim, dour character, we have a short, hairy Andy Serkis.
Unless he's CGI, I don't see it.
CGI.
I love Andy, man. Andy's badass, but damn, that's
actor.
not right.
I don't
see
him as Alfred unless he arrives in a green suit. Is like, all right, where do you want me, boys?
It was like Gollum.
He's going to be the. If they put muscle on him, make him work out and get ripped, he's going to be the SAS soldier
version. Yeah.
version,
No, see, that's one thing I loved about Gotham actually was Alfred. Because they had that version of Alfred in there, and I love the guy playing Alfred. He doesn't look like Alfred, but he was cool. I liked him. Right? That was one of the best parts of Gotham.
I'll take you on, mate. I'll box your ears, mate. Yeah.
Well, right? Yeah. But he was cool. I liked him.
Which was the son of the third Doctor, Sean Pennyworth. Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, but I like the dude.
You would like Pennyworth then because it's all about the Alfred years,
See, I didn't even know it existed, dude. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah. What is it, a spin-off from Gotham?
No, not at all.
It's just another one of something.
I got to check it out.
DC needs to get their crap in order.
No, I'm going to check it out because that does sound interesting. Let me write that down. I'm writing it down, Booster.
He's writing down, boys.
Pennyworth. I don't know where to find it, but I'll find it.
Stars.
No, I don't have stars. What is that? Moving on. There are new Alfred figures with different heads for 60s Alfred, Batman, 89 Alfred, comic Alfred, but no Kane Alfred. Oh, Michael Caine. We were talking about that too. And Booster doesn't like it.
I failed you, Master Bruce. I did, didn't I? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry.
And I'm gonna lie it.
Hating on the Cockney.
I love Michael Caine. I do. I just and he's a great actor and did great in Dark Knight. I just don't think he's Alfred. I don't think a lot of people who have played Alfred are Alfred.
Well, there you go. Now, Dinale, what the hell is this, and do I even want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Not really. I mean, it's a deconstruction of superheroes, and they're talking about the dark universe and everything, and all that jazz. So if you know about the dark universe or multiverse, you have the evil version of every character that end up being evil Batman something. Well, in this case, the writer's trying to prove, because of this evil universe, the Joker is right about Batman succumbing to Gotham kind of deal. And it's kind of like, well, it's a evil universe, negative universe, basically. So of course he's going to fail. That doesn't mean anything squat to Batman because Batman never fails. That's the point of Batman, the long defeat. Meaning, yes, it's the whole struggle of good and evil that will persist on even beyond him kind of deal.
Well, this is a bit longer article, which is nice because it's usually so short. But I do have a question I would like to ask anyone here that has seen the Joker movie, because I have not. If you've seen the Joker movie, do they try in any way to endear you to the Joker or make him a sympathetic villain?
Not really.
No.
It depends what you mean by sympathetic. You could have sympathy for him because, his life is shit. But he's also a monster. So it's sympathy for the devil at most.
So therefore, no. Yeah, he's not the good guy.
No.
Not at all, even.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. Elseworld stuff can be fun, I guess. I'm not going to knock on it. But this constant need to bring down the hero and to rise up the villain. It's a weird cerebral gymnastics that these people do, and I don't know if it doesn't talk something of the corruption of their own mind that they're so desperate to do this. But whatever. Next, why is this round-headed bastard on my screen, Dinale?
Right, because again, it's making the rounds that there's rumors that Rian Johnson is out of Star Wars and Lucasfilm again for the billionth time. So we'll see it change. That he's back in. They don't know what they're gonna do, but that was the whole point.
Okay, so he's out. Yay! Next.
Yay!
Did they ever even find an actual ending for the movie that comes out in a month?
Not that I've heard.
2 months.
Not that I've heard.
No. No.
It's a debacle, dude.
Is it just going to be pick your own ending? Is that what's going to happen?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like every theater will have their own ending. It's like choose A. Here's theater A with one ending, theater B with a second ending, theater C with a third ending, and everybody talks about it. It's like, did you see that ending? Yeah, it was awesome. Ray died. What? No, Ray lived.
We subverted your expectations, guys. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you expected a good movie. We subverted you. Haha.
Well, the interesting thing we have noticed. Now we do know that Disney plays dirty pool. We know that. But we just saw the Terminator franchise came out, which is usually good for good 150, $200 million, right? Madly bomb. I mean, they in the end they probably have got to lose several $100 million on this whole project, right? Unless some miracle happens, right?
Yeah, they're projecting over $130 million.
Yeah, but they're not taking into account advertisement and commercialism and stuff.
No. That's what they're projected to lose, not to gain.
Yeah, okay. But my point being is, that movie was bad. Is why it's mainly not getting any attention because it was poorly done, et cetera, et cetera. But Star Wars is coming, and I'm kind of wondering, aside from Disney shenanigans, how bad it's going to bomb, dude. Do you think it's going to make money just because it's Star Wars, or are we seeing a sign of people just putting up their hands and saying that's enough?
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that sign. I think with the success of like the Joker movie and stuff, they're signaling they want something different. Because as far as I know, that movie hasn't even been released in like China or anything.
That's right. No, it hasn't been released in China, and it's made $1 billion
everywhere else. So people are basically signaling they're tired of the formula. They're tired of these ridiculous. And what's funny is the Scorsese and the other one whose name just left me, both
Coppola.
said,
Coppola.
said these movies aren't cinema. They're trash basically, and they are, and they have been for a long time. I mean, they made Star Wars into just trash, just pure trash. There's no inspiration in it. There's no magic in it. It's just a simple popcorn trash movie, worse than a Michael Bay movie. And that's what most of the Marvel movies are. I mean, there's a couple bright spots here or there, but largely that's what they are. They're forgettable, just trash movies where you go and turn your brain off and look at the pretty pictures.
That's
which
right,
is fine if that's what you want to do.
Wrong with
but I
it.
think people are tired of it. I think people want actual cinema again. And I've been predicting that for a few years now, that we're going to see a switch back to maybe early 70s style, which is much more serious movies with much more dramatic characters.
Yeah.
And less of a high fantasy style like we have had for a while.
Yeah. Well, I wonder.
So I think that's what we're seeing.
I wonder, Thundera, if there's not a little bit more to it, because with the Transformer movies, we know they're bad. They are very bad, but they make a lot of money. But yet we're seeing these other movies, which are good or bad, or usually they're mediocre, but they have such heavy political messages. And I'm wondering if the politic isn't more overwhelming than the nonsense. You know what I mean?
I think that's a big part of it too, but I think that's mostly just for the more politically aware people. I think for your normal person, they're just tired. The thrill, there's no thrills left in the thrill ride, right? They've been to this theme park 100 times. Why am I still coming to it? They want something different. They want something with a different edge to it. I think Deadpool proved that, and it was not even really all that edgy. And then you have this Joker movie, which isn't even really all that edgy either, but the media made it out like it was propaganda, incel propaganda movie. So people were very interested in it. And then they went and they saw, oh, wow, this is what a good actor does, right? We haven't seen really a great acting performance on a majorly successful movie in a long time. And this was easily his best performance of the last 10 years. Joaquin Phoenix. He's great. He's top 3 actors alive today. Like, he's that good. And he's probably not going to get any awards for this, at least, not any that matter. Not that any of them really do matter. But yeah, it's a great character piece. Like, he is fantastic from bell to bell in that movie. There's no missteps. You never realize you're watching Joaquin Phoenix. That the same thing Heath Ledger did. He pulls himself out of the movie and just becomes that character. So I think that's a lot of what it is. You're seeing people signal that they just want something real. They want something new. They don't want the high fictionalized, fantasy aspect so much anymore. They want a more actual. They want to go to a movie and feel like they're watching art and not just feel like they're watching fun stuff.
Yeah, well, things do come in cycles, and good on them for not bowing to whatever demands China put on them and simply saying, "Well, fine, we just won't show in China." So good on them for doing that because they probably could have picked up 2 to 400 million more. Well, it wouldn't have been in their pockets. They could have picked up some odd millions more. But good on them for doing that. And I wish more companies to do that because we know in the video game world, there's a lot of trouble with China's influence. And this is one thing for me. You guys know I harp on this, but I'm going to say it again anyway. If you buy anything from China, understand this. If it is an international selling company from China, a big international company in China, it is not an independent company. That is not a mom and pop that are putting things together, or even a people who just found success and became a big company like, say, Apple or something like that. It's not what it is. That is government controlled. 100% government controlled. Understand that, right? And then understand this. When you buy anything made in China, you are supporting slavery at a minimum of list of problems that comes out of China. Because what they do is they take the mountain people in China, they tear them out of their homes where they've lived, their families have been for centuries, and they throw them into working towns and force them to do whatever it is they need. That's what China does. So if you're buying Chinese products, you are supporting slavery. Straight up.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Oh,
unfortunately,
that's nasty.
we've been inundated in America. It's almost impossible to avoid them now, unless you want to pay a lot more.
Well,
Yeah.
what about the iPhone, the Samsung phone, all the smart devices we have are all out of China?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm talking about. And I personally tried to never buy anything made in China if I can help it, right? But I can't. It's impossible to get away from. But I'm just telling you, that's the reality of it. And I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating it. You can research it yourself. But that's what's happening over there. It is a communist government. They do not care. They will do whatever they want, including murdering hundreds of people if they think that it will put forward their agenda. That's what you're dealing with, right? But anyway, let's move on because we're really starting to dig into time here. Dinale, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about it briefly a couple of shows ago, but they're actually they're going to bring James Dean back as a digitalized form of James Dean with the blessing of his estate for a Vietnam War movie. Basically, they're going to get stock footage, they're going to get models, and you're going to see a resurrected CGI version of James Dean.
Yeah, but Denali, does it say anything in this article of why James Dean's likeness is showing up in a Vietnam War movie? I mean, he had nothing to do with that. He played rascals and bad boys mainly in the movies before he killed himself. Well, not suicide, but he drove himself off a damn cliff. But why is he in a Vietnam War movie? What's the point?
Well, basically, what they want is he's actually been made as a secondary lead for this movie, Finding Jack. And basically it's supposed to be like a movie that he want to use James Dean as, as one of the friends that, is one of the ties into the whole theme about it. Because like you said, he played rascal and all that stuff, right?
Well, he did.
But I think
he played the bad boy. That's what he always played. Yeah. He wasn't a serious, dramatic actor. That's not what he was. He was just a pretty boy who died early.
Let me ask, would you rather have Steve McQueen or James Dean?
Oh, Steve McQueen any day, dude.
All day, right?
All day. Yeah.
Right. So, but he's been in 3 movies to answer your question.
Yeah.
Which is Rebel Without Cause,
East
of Eden, and Giant. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, East of Eden, he did play more of a little bit of a romantic thing, but whatever. Cool. Let's see what they do with it. But it just seems odd.
But
He did. Brewster
It's
says
not
James
odd.
Dean didn't kill himself, just like Epstein. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
It's not odd, and the reason why I'm bringing this up it's the reason why we got to keep an eye out is, eventually technology will be so adapted to fool the eye that you won't know if the actor that you're seeing is actually a digital actor or a real actor. Meaning that because a lot of these company studios are buying or inputting their contract that when you're playing this character, you are selling your likeness to this character in perpetuity. So if they ever get the technology down right where it can fool the eye and doesn't look unnatural like it was in Rogue One with Star Wars with Tolkien and Carrie Fisher, and it's more like the de-aging process that we saw in Civil War and in the Marvels, then we will see more resurrection of past actors that passed away into new movies. Watch it.
Yeah, no. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, although it'll also be used for bad things, though. You'll see a lot of propaganda coming out of it. You'll see a lot of things where people say, "I didn't do that," and the video says you did. You'll see a lot of that actually, and they have the perfect voice copying thing now that people were talking about a few months ago on the internet. But yeah, it's cool and scary as hell at the same time. Yeah. Anyway, we got one more story here, but before we get out of here, do keep in mind that in about 50 minutes, you have Black Digital Universe. Is going to be doing their Drone Recorder Pro Edition, of course, and go over there and support Dina. She's our winner from last week, and she's going to be drawing. So please support her. And even though I know that, yeah, there's some odd things going on over there, go support Dina anyway. But this one actually is from Todd, and it's kind of cool. Go ahead, Todd.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Marvel releases the Amazing Spider-Man 2099 trailer.
Now, this is for a TV show or a movie or what? Or just a comic book? I think it's just a comic, I'm pretty sure.
Comic, right.
Yeah. Well, I loved it when it came out, dude.
Oh, yeah, Miguel O'Hara. It was a great character.
Yeah, it was really cool. I read all those. I like Doom, too.
It was back when you didn't have to force diversity on us. It was there. They created diversity.
And no one cared.
And it was organic.
No one cares now. The only people who care are the ones that won't shut their damn mouths. I don't know what these two talking heads are talking about, but I don't think I need to.
No, Nick Lowe's a moron.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But yeah, you're right, Tolfer. Dina Militia. Definitely go over and support Dina, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to turn the volume on because they'll hit us.
You need an alliteration. Should be like Dina Damsels, Dina's Dykes. No.
No, let's not do that.
Dina's Destroyers. I don't know.
Thank you, Booster. But me personally, you're welcome. Awesome. But I did like Spider-Man 2099, so I think I'll check the book out for sure. Unfortunately, I have to go in with a worried hand though, because who knows what kind of nonsense they're gonna throw at us. But I'll definitely check this one out because I did enjoy the original. Was there any of the other 2099 run that you guys enjoyed back in the day?
Doom.
Yeah, Doom I like too. Yeah, Doom was good. But I think those kind of Elseworld or other, almost what if type of stuff that Marvel has done that I liked the best was 2099 and the Noir series, particularly Spider-Man. But those two, the Elseworld type of things, I liked a lot, and I'm very happy that they're doing more with Spider-Man Noir. Although I'm not sure about the art on it yet, and this could be cool too. So, Dina's egg rolls. There you go, Eric. You found it.
You got it.
You got it. There it is. There it is. All right, guys. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Anyway, while I go over here and prepare for the ending of the show, I'm going to let George, if he's still here, go ahead and talk about his news.
Okay, right here. My book is in from the printers. Here I have photographs of samples. Here we have the covers, and this is one of the many pages inside.
Sweet. This is a big book too.
It's 120 pages. And also the trading cards, 18 of them.
Sweet.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice.
There's 15 panels up on a page.
Damn, dude.
Actually, this particular page is a series of 5 pages that run simultaneously. So what's happening here? Each row is happening at the same time as the row below it. For instance, there's a character at the bottom center. He's using a gun to fire. The actual bullets are impacting with the character who's attacked at the top center.
Oh, I see. Oh, cool. It looks very bright, very colorful, and it is completely ready for shipping. That is very nice, George.
Yeah, there's 4 different reading experiences here. There's the standard experience where you actually read the book. The secondary experience is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type reading, where there's annotations between the panels, such as this one here. And the third experience is actually there's a non-linear character in this story. So if you want to actually know how the character experiences linear time, you have to actually jump to page 106, panel 2, and then follow the character as you jump throughout the book. Oh, and of course, the last experience is there's the simultaneous reading experience where there's a series of pages where they just happen simultaneously across instead of going up and down.
Sweet. All right, George. Well, for all of you guys who backed that, I'm assuming it'll be coming very shortly. How long are we looking here?
In a week or so, 2 weeks top, depending on mail.
I see. Oh, rock on, dude. Very nice. It's nice to see him get that finished and start getting that out, guys. So thank you very much, George. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Thundero. Thank you, Booster, of course, and Dinale. And thank you all in the chat for being here with us. A lot of good conversations. Nice to be back after my little hiatus. So many of you guys come in here and sharing the day with us. We love you guys. Love talking to you. It's a lot of fun. But it is time for us to go. Kisses and love for sure. But it's time for us to go, guys, and we're going to do as usual, allowing the Dinale to take us out of here.
All right. Well, thank you, Chester. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this Comics News Today. Join us tomorrow for Comics News Today at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Ultimate Edition of Drawn in Quarter at 10 p.m. Join the Immortal Mask at dinalescomics@gmail.com. Just send me an email that you want to be at the newsletter, and you will be at the newsletter. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Dinale. We got to train him better, Booster. Anyway, thank you guys. Later.
Aloha.